How old is that house?
Maybe 10 years or 10 years.
Right.
Very long time.
Hello. My name is Wojtek Bobilewicz. I come from Poland. I arrived to Solomon Islands to find out something about the way the local people live, and also to find out something about the legends or myths, as the scientists call them, regarding giants and lights in Solomon Islands. And I believe these are not legends or myths. This is a true story. With me is the chief of the Chapuru village, Joseph Jeppe, a very wise and well-educated man who helps us with our research and who can tell us a number of very interesting stories today. Joseph, here we are in this very nice village of Chapuru, and I know you are the chief of this village, and you told us a lot of exciting stories. So we are first of all interested in your ancestors, because you told us you had ancestors back in the times when there was headhunting here and cannibalism. Could you tell us a few words about that?
Yes, exactly. For my history, I'm originally from Tangarari, and there is a tribal war in the late 17th and 16th centuries. My great-grandmothers had moved from that place to these areas, and they live here with a lot of our warriors. And later on, some of our people come and collect my mother's bag. Then we live there. And during also on that time, during that the tribal war, they also killed my great-grandfather, which is the original leader of our home there, back at Tangarari. Then, yes, they killed him. They put him on top there. He stood on top of a stone. Then later these warriors, that is, I believe, is at the end of the 18th century. That is during the time when the Australian government have set back all these people that work in those plantations during that time. And then because of these warriors have jealousy to him, that because he is a red warrior, and they collected all these warriors from that part of the island. And with them there is a kind of gun which is the British always used it before in Australia. They put the bullets in front of it and they strike it to make it stronger. Then they shoot it with my grandfather, which is they strike his right hand with he drops his weapon, and yes, then later they kill him, cut him snake off, and they cut him to pieces and they sear his body and eat his meats and drink his blood. And also during the time when the Queensland from Queensland back, and they also sent one of my relatives, also my grandfather's relatives, maybe his first cousin. And he was back at Solomon Islands, but he come to different islands. He's living at Gela. Then two of his nephew sent news to him and said to him that, oh, well, you come back to our village and our home and you set up peace there. So there, the man named Biku, on his way up, he took with him monies and also sacks, which we now could call tanda. Then that tanda led him back to set peace in area. And from that time, there is no tribal war till now.
Right.
And then my mother was still staying here until we were born, and we live here. And also during all those times, our great hunters and all our warriors have been set from that coastline, from the western side to the eastern side of the island. Whereas one of my great-grandfather, really great-grandfather, is on his way to these other areas where he lives until he comes to the Verbal area. And also he lives here at Chapuru. And he also built the shrine up in the mountains that we have seen. And by his name is Chipuna. Chapuru is one of the first village among any village in this coastline where many people are living in during the 16th and 17th centuries. And then what actually happened, these people from Chapuru village moved from every villages in this area, like from Tanasari, Takabul areas, eastern side, and some people moved western side of the island. They're also from Chapuru. But what actually happened in Chapuru, there is some tribal wars have been happened before, and then a giant have struck this village also, and the people have died in other sicknesses. So now we start to come up again, regroup again to come back to this village and to set up this village. That is why we have left with few new families here. So you can find out here in Chapuru there is not a single old man under 60s and from 60 up to 80 something. All the new people. We got water supplies from the ministry. Supplied us some water supplies. We have two supplies here. And for us here in the next village, like we in the upper bush here, we use some temporary pipes. We build our dams and cement, but we made it temporarily. And then the big village, they use the pipe been supplied by the ministry responsible for water authorities. And then also we use, in terms of light and all those, some of our houses use a lantern. And then for nowadays, we use solar panels. Some of the houses solar panels. And even generators also. Whereas Chapuru is also a mixed people village, like the people from the other language, especially Savo, and also Gela. And some Polynesian people also came in here, and then they stayed here, married to people here, and then we're mixed people. And also in terms of Christianity, we also mix in religions. Some of other denominations within Christianity are also with us here. So it's maybe in 10 years' time, we do believe that this village will be a big village.
Right.
When this little children grows up, and maybe this village will be a big village.
Right.